Good evening, traders. It is the S&P 500 futures chart review for 6/20/2019. Market closed about 30 minutes ago, and kind of looks like where we started today, really. Looking here on the daily chart, the only thing that's really kind of changed on the daily chart is we've kind of built out this profile now. It was just these little tiny bumps. That was here earlier this morning from the prep video. Jumping over to the weekly chart, looks pretty much the same kind of format. 240 kind of tells a little bit more of a story. Big run up this morning. Sell off. We sold off into the volume node right here. Big bounce back up and right back up to the top of the high. The world was fixed by the end of the day, and the market's all good again. I really made some semi-okay calls and some bad calls here this morning. So one that I think I really kind of missed was, I kind of called this, like this 22 area down here, but I also called this 32 area. And that was kind of it was the right spot, but it was a bad call because this 35 area, when you kind of look at it, and let me drop this profile off of here. You kind of line up here with the bottom of this candle, the top of this candle, this wick, and these kind of wicks over here, and these wicks. So that was really the level, and it was the top of the profile, really. And so it never made it to my level down here. I did get this trade perfectly. You'll see it was highlighted as a scalp level on the intraday time frame, and it went nicely. We had also kind of called into this area right here, and you can see that we got a bounce off of that, but right back up. If it stays under here, we may have a lower high. They didn't break the structure here, which isn't a good signal for the bulls. But they play the game after hours, and they'll put it through. I mean, that's what they were basically doing here last night. Is they put it up pretty high in the morning. So there's that call right there on the 36 level, and that I had a scalping line right there, and that was a beautiful tie-in, and I did get that one. That was a great move. Some of the other levels that we had was like a 42.50 level. And you can see that it tried to go right there. It failed. The other one that we had was 45, and you can see it only made it to 45.75. And but that was a nice level right there. All these levels were pretty small in the morning, and I'll show you that in the next chart too. What else did we have on there? We had like a 52. Which was this guy right here. It made it to 52.25, and that was my first trade of going long, I think, today. So I caught a couple others along the way. I did fairly well, and trying to see, all the other ones were underneath the level here. So quickly cover some of the scalp lines. We came back. We had a nice little bounce right here. I'll probably use this chart in my how to use the scalping lines video. I posted one up last night in case you're interested in these scalping lines. But nice little bounce right here. You would have got your point off of that. It bounces right before the line right there on that one. I wouldn't touch it because you've already been through that line right there. Comes back. You take some heat on this one, but you definitely get your point off of that one. Bounces in this range for a while. Nice trade. This was the 52 level right here. Nice trade off of that one. This one, it bounces in front of the line, but it kind of goes up and it comes back and gives you another one. I think I took that one also, and nice trade right there. Starts to poke through the line and kind of leaving it alone at that point. Things get a little bit wonky. There was a pullback right here on this one bar. I was watching it, but it does trade through and then finally goes through, falls through. This level completely fails right here for me. This one does get a little bit of a bounce. I'm not sure if you got a point out of that. I did not take that 40.50 to 41.75. You definitely would have got your point out of that one. And then this one right here, beautiful. You get a little pullback right here, not enough probably to get out with the point. Fails, finds support, goes across. You do get a little bit of a pullback right here. This one kind of fails, I think, right here. Not enough for a point right there. 49.75, 49, 3 ticks. You know, you're not really getting it. This one bounces right before the line. Finds support. This one works, but you take a little bit of heat waiting for it to produce. This one comes back, finds support on here, and it's gone across. This one's a nice little trade right here. This one you get a pullback. I'm not sure. I didn't take that one. End of the day. This is 29.60 and 29.58. You definitely would have got your point out of there. And this one looks like it paid off also. So just to kind of give you an idea. And let's go look at the other ones. Oh, and down here on this level, I mean, see those candles right there? You had this candle right over here. Yeah, the structure was just better right here. I was looking at this last little section right here. When you profile this guy, you know, the volume's all down right here. It's not until you pull back into here that you actually start to get some volume. So I was definitely looking for this area, but there were some good trades in here. Most of them bounced a tick before the level call, or I think this one was 3 ticks before the level call, but you had to kind of watch it and pay a lot of attention to see how it was behaving. Let's look at this level right here. This is again showing the how thin it was, really kind of through here, and that these weren't the great levels, and this was the big juicy level to get on board. I think I said this morning, you know, if it gets back here by with I don't know if I said both fists or whatever, but I said this is the area to jump on to buy the dip right here, and it certainly was a good trade. These levels were pretty thin through here, and I was really questionable on them this morning. If you watch the prep video, and you can see how fast everything was moving. That reminds me. Let's jump back here intraday. Sorry. This was moving down pretty fast. This was a big fast move back up. This was moving down pretty fast. This was a big fast move up. And I'd said this morning in the prep video, I said, hey, you know, if we get down here, look at how thin this is. We're going to move pretty fast. And you certainly did move pretty fast through a lot of these areas right here. I even try to breakout trade right here on this candle to the short side, just because when I was looking over right at this point, I saw how thin this was, and I said, oh, this thing's going to go, and I got on board for that little ride right there. I was definitely looking over here in this direction for that particular trade, and you can see, you know, these things were moving pretty fast through these locations because there wasn't a whole lot of positions that had built up overnight when they ran that thing up. So just trying to point out again that long bars don't necessarily mean strength. When you're coming back the other direction, it tends to go pretty fast through those particular areas, and I think it was even doing that kind of on the way up, right? And this was moving up pretty fast. See how fast this guy came back down. This guy was going up just as fast the other direction. Trying to see if there's anything else to really kind of tell you on that chart, but definitely the levels were kind of playing out here. Like if I put a range profile over here, that one went right into that guy, and if I back this guy up, I'm pretty sure you can see it went right into this level and right into this level right here with that high volume, and he had another high volume node right there. And I think if you walk this guy all the way back, you can see right this very high volume node right here. All the little yellow point of controls on the bars were right there, and beautiful little touch right there and pull back. I think that was pretty much it. I was really kind of looking for a bigger pullback right here. So you had the bottom, and the top right here. You definitely had opposings, but the market was pretty strong, and I was looking for definitely a pullback right in this area, because you had all these bars, you had the breakdown, you had the one touch right here. So you had both sides, and so I was looking for this to actually pull back more, but too late in the day, and they were going to run this thing up to the high. Here I was just showing you how thin this all was, and why it traded so fast right back down into this area. I've kind of alluded to that many times in other videos, that when things get thin, right, you can get fast moves through there, and I keep on trying to reiterate that so that you can read the market. I think that's important to kind of understand the volumes way down here. I know I keep on flipping back and forth, you guys, but see the bulk of this volume right here, and this guy, where does it reject really good? Right there. You're looking for these kind of bulky places. There's a bulk of volume right here, and you do get the rejection right here, but not as good as I thought it would be. But I tend to look for some bulky places to build up and generate some positions for some people. And last thing but not least, I didn't pull this thing over, but let me do that real quick. So symmetry levels, pretty good little touch right down here. Traded a little bit beyond it, but got the bounce. Found support on it, right up to the line, This one went through, but nice little stopping place today. Look at where the market traded up to this morning, right here. We had drawn these in this morning, right? We were right about here, I think, when we drawn them in, and you got that one more 100% range extension. You can see it tried to bounce right off the line on the way back and chopped around, and here's another bounce right off the line. Right down here, right across this line, chopping. You can see right before this one, another try and bounce. But that's the symmetry lines. Hey, if you guys like the analysis, you guys want the morning calls, please subscribe to the channel. You get a notification for the scalping lines and the level calls in the morning before the market starts. I only trade one market. I trade the ES, the micro ES. So I concentrate all my focus on the market and trying to read the futures market here. So if you want to follow along and learn how to trade this one market, please subscribe to the channel. If you guys have any comments or anything, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll get back to you. And hope you had a good trading day, and I'll see you in the morning. Take care.